All right, so Jay Baba, we are now recording. We're going to have a wonderful morning with Mani memories. We're just a few days past the anniversary of her passing. Okay, and so we're going to start off with a couple of videos, and then we'll share.
We were in Ajmer, and Baba said, Mani is to learn driving. And she used to take Kitty and the others, wherever. Elaine was there at the time, too. This was in Ajmer, 40 maybe, 40, 41. So I was taught by Elizabeth. Now, Elizabeth took a car to be a person. The respect she had for the car, the detailed knowledge she had of the car, the way she could convey the importance of the different parts of a car was amazing. I mean, before I sat behind the wheel, I knew the mechanic, the body of the car, like it was a person. The liver, the spleen, the kidneys, everything. You know, what happens when you reverse the clutch, or when you put the car in clutch, and first gear, second gear, third gear, what happens? Every little thing, it was so wonderful. But then she had me sit behind the wheel, and she was teaching me. And one thing she found rather strange, that I was very good at going backward. I was much better at reverse than I was going forward. And she said to me once, she said, Manny, dear, she always called me Manny, like my father did. And she said, Manny, dear, you'll have to go forward sometime. And I said, yes. So I did go forward. I was good at it, as she told me, but I still was better at going backward. So then, when I learned it, but before I could completely go through my education of driving with her, like signs and things like that, Elizabeth and Norina were sent back to the States for some work. So here I was, ready to have my license, but I had to take my license in a stranger's car, a hired car, a little hired car, which is nothing like Elizabeth's car, which she kept so beautiful. But still, and here was this Indian driver who was very nervous about me for some reason. Although everybody said how good I was, he was nervous, and his Indian accent, you know. So when I would drive, he would say horn, horn, meaning blow the horn. But he said haran, haran, which means a deer. So I said, I would look out for the deer. Where is the deer? I couldn't find the deer. Anyway, the great day came. I had to go and have get my license. And Baba had heard, and everybody knew, that the man, the English, because we were in the this is all during the British Raj. So there's the Englishman there. He was a very tall guy, very strict, very hard. And they said, everybody said, he won't give her a license. He's that hard as nails. Oh, said Baba. So Baba had a cable telegram sent to Ramju, who was in Satara or Nasik somewhere, and said, come quickly, because Ramju was, you know, a car worm, not a bookworm, but a car worm. He knew everything about cars, and he could speak about cars, and he would help. He would be of help. So, but in the meantime, I had to go. My date was fixed. So everybody helped. Elaine, I still remember, she'd knitted mittens out of silk, cream-colored silk thread, you know. So I had those, so the tips of my fingers could still be out. But Mara gave me her best handkerchief. Somebody gave me this, and I was all dressed, and I was looking very presentable. In those days, during the British regime, you really had to look proper. You know, you had to see and that would help my cause. So even if I didn't do it very well, he might still give me, I don't know. Anyway, I was all ready. Everybody was out, you know, greeting me, well wishes, and sending me off. And Baba's there and says, not to worry. And that, where is Ramju? Why doesn't has Ramju come? Has Ramju come? And I've gone there. Now, this guy is so tall, I had to put my head out of the window and look up to see him. Inflexible face, no smile, no thing. There were no robots in those days. And he said, It's those two trees at the back there. Quite some distance away, there were two trees, far apart only to allow a car through. Only that. And quite at a distance, he says, reverse, go through those trees, come right back here. How Baba. I zoomed, and before he knew it, I was there. He looked so startled, he was so amazed. They said he makes you go through the paces for endlessly. Not a single other test would he give me. After this performance, I mean, I must be an ace at driving. He just went in, wrote that thing, gave it to me. He still looked surprised, you know. So I said, thank you, sir. And I went home, and I give Baba this telegram, and Baba, you know, so happy I've achieved this for Baba. And Baba takes the telegram, he's so happy. He gives me an embrace, everybody else. And then somebody brings a thing, says, just to let you know, Baba, Ramju has just arrived. Yeah. I was so happy he didn't come earlier. I didn't need his help at all, only Baba's help.
Show me how to receive your grace. Tell me how can I please you? Just to see a smile on your face. Ba 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 ba, ba 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 ba, ba 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 ba. You are the sun. Ba 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 ba, ba 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 ba. Oh Meher Baba, you're the only one. Oh Meher Baba, my only Baba. For me your name is the word of words. It's in the songs of your many lovers, and I hear it in the song of the birds. Baba 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 Baba, you are the sun. Baba 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 Baba, oh Meher Baba, you're the only one. Oh Meher Baba, my only Baba, you are my Lord and you are my friend. There never was or will be another. I am truly yours to the end. Baba 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 Baba, oh Meher Baba, you are the sun. Baba 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 Baba, oh Meher Baba, you're the only one. Oh Meher Baba, my only Baba. Show me how to receive your grace. Tell me how can I please you? Just to see a smile on your face. Baba 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 Baba, oh Meher Baba, you are the sun. Baba 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 Baba, oh Meher Baba, you're the only one. Oh Meher Baba, my only Baba. For me your name is the word of words. It's in the songs of your many lovers, and I hear it in the song of the birds. Baba 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 Baba, you are the sun. Baba 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 Baba, oh Meher Baba, you're the only one. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Well done, buddy. Very nice. Beautiful, beautiful.
Jai Baba, Walter.
Okay. Stop share. All right. One more.
Because some of the men, Erich was in the sitting room. I didn't know, but it turned out to be. And Baba comes in and says, "Come here to me." So I quickly go follow him, and he takes me into the sitting room and says, and there I see Eris sitting sidewise. I could only see his profile. It could have been a statue of some president or prime minister or something, an American president. And I said, yes. I said to Baba, yes, I'm ready to, whatever Baba wants. He said, sing to him, begin to begin. This impassive person who's not interested in the begin of the sound or me, you know. I face his side face, I'm sitting here. I have his ear. And I lean over and sing begin the begin. And 2-3 times Baba comes in walking. He says, is it finished? Do you see what the... So I you know, this is a longish song. When it was all done, then that was over. I didn't know why. I never questioned why. Not even in my mind. Years later, sitting here, Eric was sitting here among Baba family like now, and somebody asked about the begin, and he said, I didn't even know what begin was, because Baba said, when he dropped his phone, the last moment, begin should be played to him, which I did. That's another story, how that Baba made it. So that, then I said, but Baba, what is this begin? You've never heard it? It's a song, you haven't heard it? No, I don't know. Oh, then you must. I'll call money, and that's how I said.
Did Eric remain impassive?
Where is the talk coming from?
Yeah.
Yes?
Did Eric remain impassive?
Oh, absolutely. He said he couldn't have cared a cent for the song. Only thing is to remember when Baba wanted it to play. And see how it happened. All the earlier years, even in Bangalore, we used to play Begin sung by Chick Henderson. But later my brother sent another 75, it has to be that speed, 75 revolution.
RPMs,
Yeah, so he sent one, and he had Fred Marks look for one. They couldn't find in England another one, and it was in English. So Fred Marks found one by A. Hutchinson. Oh, man, it breaks your heart when you hear it. It's so beautiful. So it was played to Baba here by the chair, and not long before Baba stopped coming, not to the London Hall, in that last month actually. So, and I played it to him, and Baba said, I had no time to put it by among the other records. So I went and put it in the cupboard, and forgot about it. But when none of us expected Baba to drop his body, to do this final trick, none of us. And so, it all comes, we have to do that. That begin, hey, what do you do? And I suddenly remembered, it's handy, it's right there. So that's how we were able to do it. And that A. Hutchinson is the one.
Leslie. L.A. It's Leslie. Leslie A. L.A. Hutchinson.
L.A. Hutchinson.
Leslie.
It's a singing version? Singing version? Not
Singing
instrumental,
version.
but singing.
Singing, not just instruments. Singing.
Singing, yes.
Oh, yes, singing. He sings.
L.A.
And
Hutchinson.
when his voice breaks at some point, it's so beautiful. And Baba had me play it again here. And that was in January. End of December, beginning of January. And then I played it, because I used to play the gramophone for Baba, and music, and the radio, that kind of thing. So here's the gramophone.
But this is
Here I'm in the samadhi. This is inside the samadhi. Played it in the cabin, played it inside the samadhi, and played it in his room here. And then when I came by myself, and Baba was on the stretcher here in the middle of the hall, and I bowed down with my, and Erich came in and said, "Where's the camera?" I thought this guy's gone crazy. At a time like this, you think of camera? And he said something that was like a splash of cold water on my face. And it woke me up to my senses as what I should be doing. He said, "This is not the time to start thinking of ourselves. Do you realize how many will want to be here at this time, at this moment? This is not the time to start thinking of ourselves. We have to continue to do what Baba wants us to do." And that. So, even the camera was handy. I'll tell you why the camera was handy. Like to hear?
Yep.
Am I drawing too much?
No.
Okay. That's nice because it came to me this morning to do that. And it's 1969. In January 1969, that last month, I'll show you her arms. It was amazing how Baba was, even during that last illness, or illness is the wrong word, I wouldn't know how to describe it, but one day he was looking fresh and strong, and we thought, now he's on the mend. And the next day, he would be weighed down. And at one point he said, "That's because of my work. Anyway, one day what happened is, Baba's in his room, reclining on the bed, resting on the bed in January, and one of the men was with him, one day. Yeah. And we were, of course, all, Baba's door was closed between us. And suddenly, Gohar comes rushing to this side. She would be both sides. She could come in, and she was in touch with the men for our work all the time. So she comes rushing from the men's side to Mara and said, Mara, you're not going to believe this. You're not going to believe this. A strangest woman has come, She's like a Mastani, only she's Western. And actually she did look, because she had a skirt. We hadn't seen a hippie before. This was our first, but it wasn't our last. We thought it was our last. She had a skirt and a sort of a scarf that hung over her shoulders. Very lovely young woman, and tall and statuesque sort of thing. And a big guitar flung on her shoulders, and a worldly possession in a little cloth satchel, in a little purse like that. I guess she had no shoes or sandals. At least not when she got to Vilu's, and then Vilu had a grandson. And she said she was from Australia. And it seems a barber ever in Australia, Peter Davies, I believe, seeing her and knowing she's coming to India, made an excuse, said, "Will you give this is for Mayor Baba. Will you give direction how to get here?" And just as a message from me. And she was very obliging. She said, "Sure." And she did it. But when she came to the gate, and it's very strict, very close to Mayor Baba's seclusion. So one of the men goes and says, "Yes? Who are you? Where are you from? Where are you from?" And she says, "I'm Australia. So, the moment the monkey hears Australia, they go straight to Francis. Australia means Francis. Francis was with us. And in the meantime, Gohar has seen all this. So while she's with Francis, she comes frantically coming over on her little bicycle and says, Mera, you're not going to believe this. This woman that's come, lovely young girl, but she's like a Mastani, and you must see her, you must see her. So, I said, all right, send her. And my dear, Mara just plied her with food, lovely cakes and things on a plate, and they made her eat, and at her dining table, Baba's dining table, put some things in her satchel for on the way, on the road, and all that sort of thing. And then she even sang a song for Mara outside underneath the staircase where you all sing now. And then Mara, and she said, wait, she wanted Baba to see her. In the meantime, of course, we're all involved in this thing now. And so she knocks at the door, and Baba claps, he is heard. And he sends away the men mandit, one of them sends him away, and claps again, you can come in. So comes in, you can, she says, there's we'd like to see her. There's this girl, you know. We'd like it. And she's met Mastani, you know, Mastani. So Baba made a face. Oh, all right. He said yes. Yeah, that's it. So in comes Mary Bennett, not knowing a thing about anything. And Baba's lying, reclining on his bed in the room. And she's there, and Mara is introducing her, as it were, and gave the roll of paper that it was a poetry or drawing, I forget. I think the drawing. And Baba says, come here. Now, the Westerners don't understand this. Indians come. So we said, Mary, Baba wants good here. So she goes and stands by him. And he does this. So we said, Mara says, Mary, put your face down. So she puts the face down and Baba does this. It's very familiar. And Baba said, I'm happy. Come in May. That's all. And then as she was going to, Mara said, but Baba, she sings very well. Can she sing a song? All right. So she sits by that dressing table that's in Baba's room and sings a song by someone. But it sounds, the words are like they were written for Baba. It's amazing. And ever since then, I find that among you all, songs that says, many of the songs are like they were made for Baba. They were sung for Baba. They were composed by him. And Baba says, nice. Now, in the meantime, before she comes out, I rush to Erich's room. I rush this side, the men's side, and I find Erich outside his room. I said, Erich. He said, I'm so excited. I said, do you know this is so-and-so's come and describing her. And I said, I've never seen anything like this before. And Mary said, take a picture of her. I don't know whether she thought she was a spy or if there's somebody we never seen the likes of her before. Take a picture of her. And take a movie also, you know. So I rush back and I bring out that movie camera of my brother's, and put a cartridge in it with the thing, and first I have a picture of her on that thing. So I take it on, and it's very exciting. I'm standing here, seeing Mara come down with her. Take a picture, you never know. You know, such a thing may not happen again, and we don't know who came here. She was the first one. It's as if it were a little, not a replay, but a pre-play of what we're going to have in so many times multiplied. Like this time, on and on and on. So, what I'm trying to say is, when Erich says, bring your camera. But now, there's no time. We're going with Baba to Mehrabad. Baba's resting here on the stretcher. And how? So he says, bring your camera. The camera was in because of that day when I had 2 minutes or 1 minute of Mary Bennett. And so I just put it there. And I used that camera then to film a few moments of Baba in Mehrabad. Then see what happens. When we go to Pune in April, there, I didn't know the Australians' month was May, or whatever the Baba said, coming. Now they're showing the, no, then Don Stevens comes. He gets a professional photographer here, a cameraman, to take a film. And he takes a film of Baba's entombment film that we call it now. And so then, as soon as it comes, I give him this tape. I said, look, this is yours. You can use it in a camera. Do what you like. You know? Because that was also used. So I said, you keep it. I didn't want to see it. I didn't. I said, you take it. But he said, that's whatever. I forgot all about Mary Bennett. I just gave the camera film. And then, when we're in Guru Prasad, the film is developed by John Stevens, and he sends it to someone, a professor or somebody. So here it is in Guru Prasad, and now I'm caught. I gotta see it. It was too fresh for me to want to see it. So anyway, I said to myself, never mind. I close my eyes. When it's dark, there's nothing. I just step out of it. But you can't do that, you know. You can't. So as soon as it started, I opened my eyes, and there was Mary Bennett on the screen. And I couldn't believe it. And I said, see, how Baba helps us to uphold his word, even when we can't, it's not possible for us to obey. He having told us to do this, he upholds. And so he said to Mary Bennett, come in May. There she was, and go to Prasad, even if it was on the screen.
What happened to her, Mary Bennett?
Last month. So Francis, have you ever drunk toddy? Toddy. The toddy that comes from the palm, the toddy palm, the sap. That was the shop my father had, the toddy shop, where Baba would sit. And so, do you ever have toddy? No, Baba. It's a drink for kings. Just once. You should have it once. Yeah. And nobody's taking it that serious because, you know, okay, as Baba said, we should have it once. What happened? Now, after Baba dropped his body, and then Francis and all came to Pune, and from there he was to go to Australia. So Francis wouldn't have a chance of drinking toddy. But before we went to Pune, suddenly somebody came to the gate of Narasat, a servant of our neighbor, our Parsi neighbor, an old man who was very primitive. And he said, Kaka, Baba named him Bilbo, the Hobbit. He went up and said, what's it? And Sahib Ji, the Sahib, has sent, that means my master has sent, this Buddha vessel of toddy. It's the first toddy that is 2 palms. He has only 2 palms that was put in. It's the first toddy that has come out. No, we don't need toddy yet. No. Kaka was saying that. Erish overheard. This is after Baba dropped his body, before we go to Pune. Erish overheard. Stop, Kaka, stop. Don't let him, send him away. And he comes and says, yes, we will take it. And he comes and says, Francis, Baba told you to have it once. Well, he sent it. It's at the door. So, obviously, Francis had it. And then, there was no more. That was the first and the last time we had toddy. Baba said, Francis, have toddy once. Drink it. Kings. And he sent it. But none of us could have procured it, not even thought of it.
Mary, you want to pass it?
I told you. I'm speaking English.
But Francis didn't have a very broad Australian accent.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, quite a...
But he didn't, it was not clear and round. You know, Or his face didn't move very much.
No.
But anyway, that Milan didn't understand a word of it. I did, because I did it first.
That's hilarious.
Oh, to hear Francis do his poetry. Yeah. And Baba loves it. And that was that little thing, but just that little thing. I don't know. So Baba said, no, Francis, someday Jim Reeves will come. Hey, Jim Reeves, and sing your ghazals. Oh, Francis.
What a way to go.
I think you have to be Australian to understand that. Isn't that right, Laura?
Huh?
You have to be Australian to understand why he didn't like Jim Reeves.
Yeah.
I think so. Do you understand that?
No, I tell you the truth, I don't get it.
You don't understand why he didn't like Jim Reeves?
No, I'm Australian, I don't understand that.
Why did he
So you have to be Australian to understand why Francis didn't like Jim Reeves.
Oh, no,
But
no.
I'm Australian and I don't understand.
No, with Francis there was not that problem at all. I mean, I never thought of it as Australian accent or something.
No, I didn't mean like that.
No. But once I saw him, Baba sent a message to Francis via me. And I went over there to the other cottage there where he was. And he was outside on the veranda with a table and a broken mirror. He was shaving, half a mirror. And I felt very bad for him. I said, you know, poor guy. I mean, he said to Francis, I can tell, go ahead, your new mirror. What for? He said. All I remember is the little pitch would go higher. What for? He said. It's bad enough looking at half my face. I have me practice singing Begin to Begin with Francis playing the harmonium 3 weeks or so before Baba died. Not more than 4 weeks, something. So, but then it became a job, you know. Oh gosh, you gotta hurry up and do it. Oh, I got one. On the veranda there. And he would play the harmonium. And for the first time I got a compliment from Francis. And that's that I sang enough octaves, which was difficult. You know. Oh, this is a day to celebrate. It's compliment.
Yeah. Where this phrase drown all sound in my silence to hear my words.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've just recently wrote music to that guzzle.
But I love that there, Baba. Yeah, listen. Quote, how glorious you are as man. How helpless as God. So helpless that you could not hide your godhood, even behind the walls of pain. How very man you are. How absolutely God.
That's the card, that's the very card that Francis wrote that on?
Huh?
Is that was by Francis?
Yeah, yes.
But it's like a printed card for Christmas.
No, the card is sent by a Baba
Right.
to someone quoting Francis with his permission for a birthday. The crypt where Baba's form rested for 7 days and where it is buried, that was open. I mean, the steps went down. Some of Helen Down's painting is still there, and the flowers and the vines come from there. It's part of it. But of course now it's covered, so you can't see that. But it was open, and it's 1962 when East-West gathering, where the Eastern and Western Babas came together in Pune when Baba gave darshan. He sent his Westerners to Ahmednagar to visit Mehrabad and to Mehrabad and Mehrazad. So when they would go in, they might have wanted to go down the steps in the crypt. They might, how? So Padre put a plank across it, a strip of a plank, you'll see. And on it it says, thou shalt not step down.
Somewhere there's a little more of that. I'm not sure I could find it with that session. But did you notice that it was Kathy Riley she was sitting next to there at the window?
Yeah, Kathy Riley was sitting next to her. Next to her was the lady from Australia.
Oh, yeah.
Who
Yeah.
used to sing. Rosalie, you know her name?
No.
Yeah, she knows.
Yeah. Huh.
Was that Pat Sumner?
No.
Oh, she was Australian. That lady was Australian. Yeah.
Pat Sumner's Australian.
No, that wasn't Pat Sumner.
Okay.
Her name
That's
is Lorraine.
Lorraine, right?
Oh,
Lorraine.
oh. Carolyn, I don't know if you're still with us, but I was just thinking, now you get to see Money. Now you see. I don't know if you've seen before, but yeah.
Who was Pat Sumner, Rosalie?
Who was that?
If you know, I'm asking Rosalie or anyone, who was Pat Sumner?
Pat Sumner was from Australia, yeah.
Yeah.
But Pat Sumner is the one who is the Pilgrim
In the office.
Reservation.
Yeah.
Pilgrim Reservation lady.
Yeah.
For a long time. Man, she never went back, I think.
And what was this girl's name sitting next to Kathy?
Lorraine.
Lorraine Brown.
They wrote beautiful songs.
Right, very beautiful.
A whole songbook, yeah.
Yeah, she used to be in the, she still is, I think, in the choir with that Barbara Zone had every weekend with Rainey and this lady and others. And
her voice is
Sam Saunders came in and also impressed with his music, and they kept at that a long time, and they still are, and she still is in that choir of the Australians in all the when they have Baba, parties, Baba events.
Hey, Carl, how long were you? You were there a long time, yeah, when you were there before.
Well, the thing is that I was not for long times, except the first time, which was a year and a half, and not a year and a half, a month and a half. And then I used to come for very short times, 14 days, 10 days between my work, my kindergarten work when I had vacation. But I came many times. So I met many people, and also I lived there until from 2013 to 2016, half years with a short break to get my visa again and come back again. So that was the longest time that I was there. But I want to just come back to money and say that the choices that you brought in videos was very, 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 very special. And money is such an entertainer. And she does that purposely, she works at it. It's not just because she has that how do you call it, that gift. She has that gift, but she is working at that. She's coming for Baba to entertain his lovers. And she collects all these stories, thinks about them ahead of time, and then she goes out and pours them out towards us. And you see how her face is so animated, and her smile is so beautiful, and she's so, so beautiful when she does that. And so we can imagine how she did that with Baba, and how entertaining she was for him, and what she did for him in being so entertaining, because all her gifts she brought to him. And so we can see that when she's talking to us in the videos, we can see what she gave Baba. And he said that he needed that because his work was so hard. And we know that his work is so hard. And she was one of those who just gave him this lightness and this beauty and this joy. So that's her great, great gift. You know, Mara gave him the wrapping of love, and all her love was around him. Mara and Manny gave him all these fun things. Can you imagine how proud he was of his little sister? Yeah.
I wanted to share something from Mani. It was my second pilgrimage to India, and it started out wonderfully, but it is a pilgrimage, so you can't. Whatever's happening has to happen. You know, it was not a fun pilgrimage because my first one I was in bliss all the time. Well, this one. I started out where I could perform for Mara, and I got a kiss from Mara. Actually have a picture of it. And then it went downhill. It was painful. It was so painful inwardly that my favorite thing would be on the porch with Mara because I love Mara. But I was in such pain that, you know, it was hard for me to even go to the porch. Well, one day, Kitty Davy was visiting, you know, and they were all thrilled. Kitty's here. Everyone was taken in to tea except Rosalie. And I was like, I would have sat on the floor. Of course, they would never allow that. But, you know, it was like, I mean, Baba really just kind of put the thumb on me. So, and I remember I went to Baba's bedroom because I was just kind of shattered when something happens. And I saw the person that left me out, the Westerner. And I tell you, I wanted to kick her behind into the bed.
Yeah.
Baba didn't want to do it, so we didn't do it. But that's how mad I was, you know. So, and then I wept and wept and wept. And then I left the bedroom and I skirted Marazad because I didn't want anyone to see me in such a weak state, you know. I and I got on the funky bus. Funky means, you know, it ran us to Maribor, but you could get on the back, and then there was a cage between you and the driver. So I got on, and I just sat there for a long time, and I had one of those cremation scarves over my head, not on my face, but over my head, and they used to come out and say goodbye. So Mani's coming, and but she's like an undeniable person, you know, and she went, "Oh, who who's that there shrouded? Who's shrouded there?" And I looked towards her, and she went, "Oh, come on now, Rosalie, give me that big watermelon smile." And then I absolutely started weeping, sobbing. And when I was sobbing, it was interesting. I felt like I was in a huge, like a marble hall or something, all alone, crying. I could hear myself crying. And then I heard her say, and really a perfect way, I would say, she says, "But he loves you. What more do you want?" It was a gift moment because it's true. No matter what happens in our life, we have his love. I didn't feel it at that point, but I mean, it was like uh, it's like things can happen to you, and you're just bare bones, just you and God maybe, but you don't feel God, you know. So it's kind of like a quick Dark Night of the Soul, only it's daytime. Anyway, to me, it's like such a story of like her perception. She was like this incredibly perceptive. And I was watching the film today, I thought, and Mani suffered a lot. She had a lot of physical ailments, but she never showed it. But I wasn't there when Mara passed away, but I bet she couldn't hide it then. I bet no, because she had been her companion all those years since she got there at 14 or 13. Yeah. Anyway, Mani was, it shows how great Baba's suffering is. This advent that he had, like this extraordinary performer as a sister. I mean, it's perfect because he comes and it's the work. He comes to suffer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just comes to suffer. And Brabazon had it so perfect in that. He says, "Dear Christ, upon this blessed morn, Christmas morn, let all men weep that you were born upon this earth that's thought so fair. That's just the cross that you must bear."
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The beauty, the whole thing's beautiful. It's the beauty of the budding rose, the lovely sparkle of the lovely diamonds of the dew, proclaim not but the pain you chose, that we might live one day as you. All lovers' speech, all infants' cry, all sick bed sweat and dying groan, is you in us, that we may die to us and live as you alone.
Beautiful.
So and then he goes, so dear brothers, lift your hands and praise his name all through the land, till till earth itself in Christhood stands. It's like this. You could see why he was Baba's poet. Perfect. Perfect.
Beautiful. And you remember it by heart. Wow.
Amazing, Rosalie, that you have all of this.
What she holds on in her mind. I am so amazed.
I call it, I don't memorize these things, but my sophomore English teacher says, memorize beautiful things. You may not have a book at hand, but this is heart memorized because if I really want to remember something, it's heart memorized. You know, it's not just mine. I take it. Yeah. So anyway, I'm so glad you were able to go, Carolyn. Yeah. Makes me happy. Carolyn does me the incredible favor. My Baba contact lives in Chicopee, Massachusetts. Carolyn lives pretty close by. And when I found out on Baba's porch, his house, that she was near my friend doesn't even have a phone. She says she can't afford it. But anyway, so she will get messages, and she actually sent me a little video of my friend so I could see her. Yeah.
Oh, that's a great story.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Jai Baba.
Rosalie, all of your theater training this is the best. We get the best of you. That you can memorize everything and at the drop of a pin say it. It's so.
But the best was, I wondered. I thought, you know, I met Mara in September of '76. You could still feel her grief strongly. She wasn't crying all the time like before. People told me that she was crying really a lot. But that grief, you know, Mara represents our separation from God all those 20 years. We don't like it. I think she liked it. But anyway, I had the extreme grace where I could make Mara laugh. I can't tell you. I remember performing Whittly Pinocchio. I did a takeoff on Pinocchio. And it was Christmas Day or the Christmas, and we're in Mandalay Hall. And I look out from being this little character that's is becoming real because my real father, Meher Baba. So I look out and there is Mara. She had to be on the edge of her seat because I saw the face of joy. I just saw the face of joy. She was wrapped into this story. And it was so beautiful. She was always beautiful, but it made me feel so grateful, you know. And I remember during that first time, I thought, Mara is my friend. And if ever I got a romantic crush, kind of like that, and I'm disappointed, you know, just all the inward sort of thing, I rickshaw out to see Mara because Mara knew true love. She knew what true love was. Yeah.
Mikal?
Oh, so you made, I didn't think she finished. You also made her happy. You made both of them happy and the other Mandalay, and they were laughing a lot in the play that you played with.
Oh, the dance. Were you there?
No, the play. Don't.
Oh, I was by the by. I was the Marathi road worker.
And you were so funny. You were so funny, and they laughed a lot. So.
And the people loved it. You know, the people that work at the center that I was squatting, they put my sari on because you have to have a sari that's kind of like a diaper because you're squatting. And they put it on and they were so thrilled. They were thrilled. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would like to sing a song for Mani. I mean, Baba wants that.
Wonderful.
This was actually written for her birthday because we used to celebrate here but Amara's birthday and Mani's birthday the same day that we would gather. So this part is Mani's part. Over the town, Mera Baba, Kijay, and dear Mani. How happy you must be now that you're back there, up there, enjoying their company. Yeah. So, Mani shel Baba mleat chaim v'simcha, Anna izri lanu le'ehov et Baba od ve'od. Mani full of love, sparkling joy, vivacious one. Please help us love Baba more and more and more. יצירתית ומצחיקה, משמחת ונבונה, אחות קטנה לאהבתה, מדמלה. Creative and much fun, wise and full of humor, little sister of the avatar, much less you are. Mani shel Baba mleat chaim ושמחה, אנא עזרי לנו לאהוב את Baba עוד ועוד. Mani full of love, sparkling joy, vivacious one. Please help us love Baba more and more and more. יצירתית ומצחיקה, משמחת ונבונה, אחות קטנה לאהבתה, מדמלה. Creative and much fun, wise and full of humor, little sister of the avatar, much less you are. Manish Baba, sparkling joy, vivacious one, please help us love Baba more and more and more. Thank you. And I just want to say one thing, because being in Mehrabad is being in pilgrimage, and it's being in Baba. And, when people used to ask me, tell us stories, what did you do there and all that? And I started thinking and saying, what can I tell them? What can I tell them? The whole thing is within the inside of us. It's not something outside. It's not like you have yoga and you have meditation and you have this and you have that. No, all you have is, so I used to say, there are two things that are constant, and so that's the meals and the samadhi arati time. You don't have to be in anything, you don't have to do anything, but these are the hours that there's something constant. All else is just, like you flow. And of course I told, about the times that we could go to marathon. And so like Rosalie said, it's not always easy to be in Mara, but I don't know, it's your first time or second time, that's very fun. But going later is lately, just very, very lately now, when I was thinking about it, I said, yeah, what it is to be in Mehrabad, it is to be in the company and energy of Baba. It's to be in the company and energy of Baba, and the ability to for the cells in our body to receive all the energy that Baba has placed in that place. It's not only the relationship with Baba that we have in each of our places when we go back home, but it's actually the land is soaked with energies that Baba put when he was in the body. And that is what we go through. And that is what is doing the cleansing of the sanskaras. And that's why it's not always easy. So why am I talking about it now is that I did not have a very good relationship with money when I was there. There was a misunderstanding between us, and it was a sad misunderstanding. And from both sides, from her side and my side. So it didn't work out, the relationship. When she was there, I could not enjoy it so much because, you see, she's so enjoyable. She's so sparkling. She's so doing her best to go out to people. And she was the one who was the main person who was like that, because she was all out to you and to the children and with the joy and with the stories and with the fun. And so it didn't work in this time. But of course, I had this very special relationship with Mara, which was very, very deep and very, very, I'm very thankful for. It's so amazing. And then later on with Bauji, which I think also was one of the outgoing ones of Baba, and also a great entertainer of Baba when he stayed as night watchman. I always feel that Baba used to smile under his mustache when he used to tease and really harass Bauji in the night watchman, and he used to see his how he reacted to that, and then he used to just dissolve all this harsh pins that he threw at him, um, and he prepared him to be with us in this way and to listen to Baba totally. So he was the other one who was very, very outgoing and very beautiful and lots of fun and lots of humor. So these two Baba had. So so what happened was that when she passed away, when Mani passed away, I kept the relationship with her. I didn't give up on the relationship with her, and I kept. It's what I'm saying is that you can keep a relationship and change a relationship even when the person is not there, even when the person is not there in the body. And it's not only me who's doing it, because Baba keeps me at 4. He keeps me at him as the center, and Mera and Bauji, and he says Meramani also. Meramani. So Baba is making this healing of a misunderstanding, because it was a misunderstanding. It was. And it was on my side. I have my responsibility for it. It was her side, and she has responsibility for it. So I did ask her forgiveness, and I know she forgives me, and I know we have a very good relationship now, because it's clean, because she sees me as I am, without this cover that when we are in the body, we see each other. And even though she was such a great soul, she still had a cover. She wasn't like Baba, and she wasn't like Mara. So this is a thing that I'm saying for people who would come new to Baba and will wish to have a relationship with Baba in the body, like we never met him, and we have such a great relationship with him. And with any one of his mandali that they feel a close connection to. Like some people have a connection to Eruch and they never met him. Some people have a yearning to be with a connection to Mera and never met her. And some would want to have it with Bauji, and some would want to have it with Mani. And I do with all my heart, I do, how do you call it, support anyone in their way and want to connect to these souls that are never dead. They're infinite, and they're high souls, and their beauties is just amazing. And I how do you call it? I advise. I do try to make your own connection, open an own connection and relationship with these beautiful, amazing people, because I didn't meet Padri, I didn't meet Bendu, I didn't meet Donkin, and so we can have a relationship. Adi, I didn't meet Adi. So we can have a relationship with these people, even though we didn't meet them. And we can even heal a relationship if we had hurt, a pain with them. So I do. So two things that I'm stressing. One is that you can have this thing that you can correct, even though they're not here, because they are here. Their presence is very much here. And of course, that it's different. It is different. It's very special to be in Meribad and Merazad. Though Baba is with us totally, you don't have to go anywhere to be with Baba. You don't have to, because Baba is so much with anyone who will open a relationship with him, wherever they are. But if you go to Mehrabad, there is such an energy there that Baba has planted that is different and works with our sanskars. And it's very, very beautiful to be there. Though not always easy, because you work with your sanskars and some of them have to go, and it's not always, not always pleasant, but it's always very good. Jai Baba, thank you, Baba.
Baba. I just wanted to say, Angela asked me to show a video this weekend, and I realized that I just didn't get enough of Mani on her day, on her anniversary day. Uh, so this was clearly the thing to, I was just kind of overwhelming. I believe she will be a perfect master at some point, and I certainly hope that I know her or I'm in touch or, somewhere, some circle around her. I really, yeah, feel.
I think she was a perfect master. I think Baba was giving her like that's my take, my private take. So no, don't, don't. That's what I feel. That when she was head of the trust, she was a perfect master already. Though perfect masters can always see this kind of thing, this, that that happened between us. But I think she was a perfect master, and Baba was sort of giving her a hint that she will be. I don't think they will come back. No, not though. Bauji said he will come back. Mani said she was. They were fully God realized, unless Baba will need them here, unless he will ask them as a souls to come with him back, they will come. But even though Baba says the perfect master does not come back, I feel Mani was a perfect master when she was the head of the trust. That's my own take.
Everybody has their their own take. It's true.
Yeah.
Carolyn, I wondered if you had anything. I don't know where you are in your packing, if you have any more. It was so sweet, so sweet to hear you say your memories. But
Oh, Carolyn, yeah.
I'm still I'm still unpacking. I'm really happy because I got this picture. Um
oh,
Wow.
wow.
I
Wow.
went to I took a rickshaw from the Pilgrim Center to a bookstore and I got lots of different Baba things that
Your speaker is off. I'm going to make a noise.
No, she's heard. Who's talking? She's heard well.
Okay. Go ahead.
oh yeah, I hope people can hear me.
Yeah.
But anyway, I took a rickshaw. But I'm just appreciating, I didn't get to hear Mani, but having just been at the center, like, or not this, the Pilgrim, I don't know what to call it,
God.
but India, not Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
Um, it is different, and I did feel like I had some hard moments, especially, I was there alone for the first time, and there were a lot of things I didn't know. So I remember like a woman like shoving me at the samadhi because I was in the wrong place. And I remember when I got into the samadhi, like there was this beautiful picture of Baba like painted on the side, and I like touched it, and again it was like, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to do that. So it definitely was, working on these things like my ego essentially. Um, but it was really cool. And yeah, I didn't get to obviously meet Mani. But I was telling people earlier, I was in her room a lot, also on the anniversary of her death. And I just loved the fact that she had a lot of perfumes because I have a lot of perfumes. Um, and I love the way the samadhi smells. So I'm trying to create a perfume. I've got a jasmine and a rose to like mix together. It'll never smell the same, but it was cool to see that Mani also loved perfume and that she loved reading. Because I like to read and I like to read out loud, actually. I used to read out loud to my little sisters, and now I read out loud to my husband. So it was cool to hear about Mani reading out loud to Baba and how Mani could do like the different voices of the characters, because I think that's really important. But not everybody can do that. But my sisters like that. And I actually like read my husband Moby Dick out loud and I did all these pirate voices. So that made me feel, or sailor voices, and thinking about Mani doing that for Baba was really cool and exciting. So it's great to hear like, everyone's experiences both with Mani, but also just being in Meherabad and Meherazad and how Baba's everywhere, but it's also really good to go there. And I've heard that for years, and now I finally understand what people mean by that.
Yeah, absolutely. It changed my life. And I had been a Baba believer about as long as you, 14 years before I went. It was it was very, but it was like half family, coming home to family. Do you have Prince Machiavelli? Any Prince Machiavelli perfume? Are they, I don't know if it's so, I used to have some.
I so I don't have any of that. I do have the fragrance that Mayor Baba liked. I bought that, and my husband wears it. Um, but yeah, I saw that Monty had a little bottle of Elizabeth Arden Beautiful, which is a perfume I recognized. And the tour guide, Carla from Argentina, I don't know, people know Carla. She's super nice. She actually let me like there was a perfume called Beloved up on the hill in Meherabad where the women stayed in the early days, and she actually let me take off the cap and smell it.
Wow. Wow, that's
Which
special.
was really exciting. But yeah, of course, the best smell is the smell of the samadhi in the morning.
Flowers,
There's
yeah.
nothing like that smell.
Yeah, Narina did the perfume with her prince husband, and she apparently had the capacity to smell on the subtle, and he knew chemistry. So, but I'm sure she named that the beloved. She named for Baba, and there's another one called the One.
Oh,
Yeah,
There's another one called something with the wind and
the what? What's
wind,
that?
the wind. And
Wind.
Eva told me that she used to buy that for her sister. So
huh.
she actually and she also sent me the how do you call it when you have the TV and you have the
The
And
advertisement.
was that,
advertisement. Yeah, so she sent me the advertisement of I wish she was here so she could show it.
it was a Machiavelli,
Machiavelli, yeah, Machiavelli. Yeah,
their
but
heart.
Betty, didn't you meet Money and Ralph? Yeah.
Bonnie, I can't, we had, I enjoyed her tremendously, but it's not, I have a daughter named Shireen, and she was, and so she, made a lot of that. Mummy, she called me little mummy, my little mummy. My kids adored her. I just kind of loved her, but not from, almost from a distance or not, it wasn't real. We didn't have any deep kind of, one-on-one. I will say we were there as a family, so there were a lot of us. It was kind of the Lowmans were, me and Dave and three of our kids. Sure. Yeah. And uh, so on the day we left, we had a taxi waiting outside Monterey Hall, and I just wanted to run in and one last, wave goodbye. So I just peeked in the door. And Monty happened to turn around and see, and she goes, oh, and she got up. And then everybody got up. And they all came out of Monley Hall, and I'll never forget it. I've got pictures. It was just
That is so precious, so precious. Wow.
But oh, I mean, you could just she was so adorable. She was so easy to adore. Yeah. Yeah.
And Ralph must have met her many times, Ralph.
Bonnie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's a short answer.
I went to court with Bonnie.
You what?
I went to court.
Oh, really? Wow. What was that about? That's
Oh, after Baba passed, I went straight out of the army, went to Darshan, and at Fred Winterfelt and Ella and large group were on the plane after our plane, a day behind our plane. And the way this occurred, we were at Guru Prasad, and I was standing in the big room. There was a big room, and then, like, if you walked up the front stairs and look, huge room, the veranda that went all the way around. I never saw the back side of Guru Prasad, but the two sides and the front with the front steps, and then the gardens and the road out to the gate. And so if you walked up the steps, you went straight up onto a very large veranda, lovely veranda, large veranda, which you can see in films, that veranda, with a lot of people sitting there, lots of people. And then go into the large hall. There's a very extremely big room. And that was where everyone gathered for the things that were just whatever came up, and what certain people who I found out about the darshan at the last moment and just not got into the ticket and got to go, and on the overflow flight, and from Myrtle Beach. It was called the Myrtle Beach contingency, but there were people from quite a few places there. And what was the question, Mani?
Talking about the court, and why did you go
Oh,
to
the court.
Mani? Because they were taken to court by the men.
What, I'm not sure why I got off on the Guru Prasad. So we'll go back to court. I got my draft notice. Fred Winterfelt came and he had my draft notice that I'd been drafted into the army.
Wow.
And he handed it to me right in front of Baba's chair.
Oh,
And there,
Wow, that's special.
and a flannel shirt that I'd left at their apartment. Chris Barker and I went to New York together, and the weather went cold. We were just going to slum it and hang out until the flight, but the weather turned really nasty. And Chris had figured out that the Winterfelts lived really close to where we were and had their phone number. So he called, and Fred Winterfelt put us up for the night in an apartment building across the street from theirs. He had a connect and got us put up. We had a good night's sleep in a warm bed, and it was really nasty outside. I remember a man selling chestnuts on the street down outside, looking down the window, watching him attend his chestnut thing. And the next morning we went to the darshan and the Mani. So I spent 2 years in the army, and right out of the army I went straight to India.
Wow.
And right by coincidence happened to didn't rendezvous. That's when you intentionally meet somebody, but happened to end up in Bombay on the same train with Charles Haynes and John Leiter, who had arrived just a few hours before me. Jaldas Stewart took me to the train. He said, "The train's not leaving, Ralph." He says, "John and Charles didn't want to stay with us. They wanted to be on the train, but it was raining cats and dogs, monsoon, and the tracks were flooded. So the train couldn't leave the station. So we got on that train. During this time, there was a trial of for the trust. A man, Kudum Shastri, who was the father of a family who was very close to Baba, and got into a row with the Mandali over handing over authority to run the trust to them. And they ended up in court. And the court case was going on while we were there. And Monty and Eric, they wanted us to go and sit in on the court. And what was the question again? May you all
That
remind
was
me.
the question. You answered the question. Why you went to court with money? Yeah. That you answered the
To
question.
court with
Thank
money. Yeah. And Monty, and we sat. It was so, and she had her mint snuff, her little snuff tin, and she's in there and attentively. And I'm thinking, how do I act? What do I do? I don't know. But a little bit unnerving. And she says, Ralph, that is Kudom Shastri. Like he was the bad guy. You know?
He was the bad guy at that time.
He didn't want to turn authority out. He didn't want to give the Mandali
Wow.
the run of the show. And the trust needed now, with Baba gone, the trust needed to function. Whereas he just had it in a mess. It was just, papers and nothing was nothing had to be there. It didn't matter as long as Baba was with it, in the body. So the kudo, she says, Ralph, you just don't you just bore a hole in his head with your eye. And say Baba, Baba, say Baba, Baba. Take Baba's name, take Baba's name. Don't stop, not for life or death. And just look at him and don't take your eyes off of him. And I thought, I'd rather just dig a hole. And, and I said, I did my level best and not to be conspicuous,
Was it you and was it you and Charles Haynes and John Leiter then who were there with the in court?
Yeah, and I don't know what they were doing. I can't remember. Because I was sitting next to Monty and she told me she instructed me. I had to take her for her to do it, but I sort of did. I did as best I could. Yeah.
Was it only one day, or were there more days in court?
I think we went a couple of days. Well, yeah, during the time we were there, and we
This
did
is
other
amazing
things.
story, amazing, stellar story. Thank you.
What year was this, Ralph?
1971. Yeah.
And were you there when the judge gave the verdict?
No, the trial continued. We went on and they continued to go to court, and we were just guests, got to be there and see the show, see what was going on, get a feel.
The right place at the right time.
Yeah. Oh, what an amazing story, Baba.
What other Mandali? Was Erich there as well and others?
Eric, I'm trying to remember, perhaps Adi,
Maybe Sarosh also, he could put his foot down politically. Yeah.
I'm not. Yeah.
It's pretty
mostly
important.
Monty. declined to be a member of the trust official. You know, on the board of the chair. He declined. He didn't want to do that.
Who was that? Who
He
declined?
went to the work, Eric.
Oh,
But he went with them, went to work every day and just worked as
hmm.
the pencil push and handling papers and Monty was the chairman and yeah.
Wow. Great story. I'm glad it's documented now. Who knew that?
Yeah, great story. Margie, did you get to meet Manny?
That she gave me such a peculiar instruction, you know, I thought, strange. I did it. I didn't ask.
You better be glad you listened to her and you did what she said.
You gave me something to think, you know, a role. I mean, it's something to not just feel like, my God, where I don't belong here, or do I?
Well, John Leiter was there. He's a lawyer
Yeah, yeah.
in America.
He's
He's
a
a lawyer.
lawyer. He did become a lawyer, yeah.
Well, but
They were in
once a
school.
lawyer, always a lawyer.
They were at Emory University. I think Charles. Yeah. Then Charles went to Harvard. Soon.
Yeah. Right. Wow.
Well, so where were you, Ralph, when you heard about Baba?
Yeah, when I heard about Baba. I
Where
was
were you? Where were you living?
in Texas. No,
Oh,
I was in Maryland with my parents. My dad got a job with the Department of Interior in Washington, D.C. And in about 1966 or so. And they moved from Texas to Washington, D.C.
wow.
And so I happened to be up there. And it was the Joe Pine show. I went against drugs. I was definitely a
You
drug,
never.
and I
But
stupid
was that
kid,
the
you
show,
know.
was that the show that Phyllis Frederick was talking to Joe Pine about having met God in human form?
That was
And
another. That was another joke.
because
Rick
he
Chat,
was
Rick
very
Chat, and
quite a cynical person. And
he
he
was.
took the book with Baba's picture and he says, could this, put it at the camera, says, could this possibly be the face of God? All the people saw that face. You know, he's like a coast to coast area.
Same man but he was very polite and respectful with Rick. Was the show I saw was Rick Chapman and Alan Cohen.
Really? Well, he must have changed his tune.
Also, he was not polite with Phyllis.
Yeah.
Made her look like he tried to make her look like an absolute idiot. He tried to make her look foolish.
Yeah.
Because she was at the psychic and that sort of stuff, you know. But because they were PhDs and they were this and that.
Mm-hmm.
Taking a little LSD probably at times.
There were Baba lovers in the gallery. They call like the peanut gallery or something like that. You know, people sitting live, had a live theater for the show. And a lot of Baba lovers were there. Eddie and Erwin were there. And I think maybe I think Al Woken, Bill McEwen, but Woken, and some young people. And they they had these cards that they would write on, like cards like about 8 by 10 sheets of card. And they'd write no and show it up like that for Clue, Alan and Rick. And it was a nice show. They were amongst the two another guest or two for the same night, Alan and Rick. And one of the other a magician. And before the show, everyone was backstage. Rick Allen, the magician, and whoever else, other and two guests. And the magician had these doves for one of his tricks, and they got loose.
Oh,
The white doves, and they were all flying around backstage up in the rafters on the light, all the stuff that's up there for lighting and the curtains and all that, running the show, and a stage set situation. They couldn't catch those doves, and then the show started. And Rick and Alan went up and sat down at a desk, and Joe Pine they're getting introduced and like that. And then like dove down and lands on the desk, right on the desk between a podium or whatever, between Rick and Alan. Joe Pine's a Marine and wounded. He had a bad leg from war. Joe Pine, he was a hardcore Marine, yeah. And this dog,
it's like a hawk.
it sort of broke the ice. Oh yeah, real hawk.
So
Yeah.
symbolic that Baba let those doves loose.
Ralph, were you there? Were you there in the TV studio?
I was with my parents in their place and working a job in a department store across the street to build up some money. It was summer, and to go back to Texas to school. And Dad watched the Joe Pine show. And so I was sitting with my parents, I was watching this, and we got a big kick out of it.
How did you know who
And
was in
our
the
Baba's
How did you know that those people were in the audience? Erwin and Eddie
I saw
and
videos.
oh,
I remember cards. And sometimes the cameraman would pan over to the audience and he showed, and then they would stand or whatever. They had what is it? The peanut gallery. They said people in the gallery to stand up and ask questions or converse with the guests or with Joe Pine, have some input, interplay with and so when they did that, then we also got to see faces, and I remembered the Luck Brothers and Adele, and there were others there too. I don't remember who. All from New York, I think in New York.
Prakash
Maybe California. I don't.
Yeah, we had Prakash is here now, or Sally, one of the two. Hi, guys.
Maybe they'll tell us a money story.
So how?
Oh, your sound is not good. Your sound is not good, darlings.
Good. Yeah.
It sounds like Mickey Mouse.
You sound like Donald Duck.
Yeah, your sound is not good.
Oh, it doesn't come through. How about your picture? You want to try showing us? Ralph, I think we're running to a close. I think we have to get you on.
Here they are.
Got to tell your stories. We have to grab you.
Hey, Jai Baba, Jai Baba.
Yay!
Yeah, nice. Where's Sally?
Where you at, Prakash? Where are you at?
Oh, wait. He's in Mehrabad.
His home in Mehrabad.
Oh.
They have electricity and everything there?
Oh, yeah. Mehrabad has electricity. Prince Frederick put it on.
Yeah.
Is Sally there? Can you show us Sally? Is she there?
No, he's trying.
Okay.
He's trying to talk.
The talking doesn't work. Is that Sally there? I can't tell.
It's Prakash. He's going to
With a good picture, you'd think the audio would work.
Yeah, but it's not.
It's now what time? It's 3 hours. It's close to 10 o'clock. there at night, PM.
Well, great.
Yeah, okay. We see you. That's good.
Great to see you.
We send love to Sally and to you and to Baba Samadhi. And to Baba Samadhi. Yeah.
Oh, we can't wait. Well, you'll fix the sound. We'll be on together soon. I know it. You're a techie guy.
I had good connection when I was there. I could.
Do you hear us okay?
Yeah, I hear it. Jai Baba.
Gosh,
No,
she bought
no,
t-shirts.
you're still talking like Mickey Mouse. But we heard the Jai Baba though in a Mickey Mouse sound.
I think I'm gonna wind up at least the recording here. And-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.